Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 2 to Forex to Futures, where we're going to be potentially going for a top step challenge account. Not potentially, we are. We are currently undergoing the 50K challenge account, right? Now, in this video, I'm going to show you my first 2 trades placed, what happened, what went on, and my game plan moving forward, right? I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys when this is a little bit marked up. So going into my trade, right, I'm going to tell you guys right now, my first trade ended up being in a loss and my second trade ended up being in a win. Right now, you're going to see that we still are about only 0.5% drawdown. I'm going to show you guys a dashboard. We're only in 0.5% drawdown. The reason why is because my winner wasn't a full winner, right? I trailed my stop loss and ended up getting taken out after it hit my full TPs, right? Complete management error on my part. So we only ended up coming out with about a $50 win, and then we ended up losing 300 on the first one. So we're about a negative 250, about 0.5% on our challenge, which you're going to see right here, right? It started on March 1st. We only took 2 trades, right? My average losing day, I lost 300. My best day, I won $50 right here. Again, this trade was beautiful and it went through and hit OTPs, but it was just a little bit management error on my part, right? Management error on my part, and I wanted to secure something. So I'm going to be going over the loss very quick, and I'm going to be going over the win in depth. And even though this isn't a full win, I want you guys to look at the chart because I want you guys to see how I'm going about the market, how I'm taking my trades and my strategy, because it was a beautiful trade. Again, it was just mismanaged and entered very late. Now, this is the setup for the win, right? But we're going to be going over the loss really quick, right? And the loss came at the very beginning of the week right here. The loss came at the very beginning of the week all the way up here, right? And I had told myself I'm expecting a large fill of this imbalance right here, right? We have a huge void created at the end of last week, right? And then Monday, London took out last week's high, Friday's high, right? So I feel like with the liquidity was grabbed already, I wanted price to push back all the way down into here, literally, right? So what I'm looking for is for price to take out this range, right? Potentially grab liquidity up and then start to drop. Now within here, right? You're going to see, right? Let's go down to the 15-minute, right? We're going to see that I had a 15-minute fair value gap in here. I wanted the price to reject this level, and I wanted the price to come down, right? My entry was all up here, right? On the 5-minute, you can see 8 a.m. I don't trade before 9:30, which is the New York Stock Exchange open. I'm not trading before that. So the entry came a little earlier, right? The entry came a little earlier. It came around 8:30. So I was trying to get in and not have FOMO up here, guys. I literally was trying to get in and not have FOMO in here. So what happened, right? What happened was I got in, right? As price wicked out, came up here. Price dropped in. 1 minute, I thought price was going to continue to push up here, and we simply got stopped out, right? And my TP was only a 3-to-1. I wanted a 3-to-1 TP, right? And I had reasons for that, right? But I'm not gonna. Again, I'm making the loss a very quick breakdown, and you're gonna see what happened right here, right? We should probably go up to a higher time frame, right there. So again, what happened? I got in later than I really wanted to. I wish New York Open or the Stock Exchange Open was up here. My entry came up here. This is where I wanted to get in on shorts. Instead, I settled for an entry lower down here because I didn't want to miss out on the move. And price came up, took us out, and then completely started to drop. And it eventually hit my targets, right? Actually, price eventually ended up tanking, as you guys see in current day, right? So that was the first loss that you guys see, right? Very unfortunate error on my part. Maybe I should have had safer stops. Maybe I should have had these stops up here anyways. Regardless, I wanted my entry to be this, right? This is what I wanted my entry to be. And that was the loss to start the week off. Yes, to start the challenge, we ended off on a loss, but that's okay, because through a lot of prop firms, I've learned that you have to just be able to come back from that, right? You have to be able to come back for that. Now we're going to come into the following day, right? Now it's Wednesday. We didn't take a trade Tuesday. We had no Tuesday. And now we're going to go to Wednesday, right? We're going to go to 6 a.m., right? I told you I'm not going to take a trade before 9:30. This is a beautiful trade, right? So coming into session, right, you want to ask yourself a couple questions, right? Where's price at and where is it coming from and where's it most likely to go, right? Price is coming from these highs up here. Price is also coming from rejecting last week's lows, and price is starting to push up, right? Whereas price now, price is around this H4 level that we actually ended up closing above. So being that the fact that we took out last week's lows, right? We maintain that bullish order flow. We're breaking above this H4 level, right? And not even that, look at all of this. It's almost like the same concept as this, right? I wanted this to get filled in. I was looking for the NASDAQ to create higher prices, right? And that's what I had, right? That was my bias. And I established my bias to be bullish. Bias, bullish, capital B, right? Now, when I have this bias, I'm looking for a couple of things, right? I am looking for an area to get in, right? So we have an H4 level, but I'm looking for imbalances, right? So this is the 2 a.m. candle. We're going to take this to the 6 a.m. candle, right? Because the 6 a.m. candle now takes us to 10 p.m., right? So 9:30, I give breathing room for the market to open, and then this is going to take us to 10 o'clock, right? And we're going to go down on lower time frame, so don't worry. But what this single candle does, it creates an H4 fair value gap. H4 fair value gap. Price is pushing up. I don't like this price action right here, but at the end of the day, I do believe we're going to push up, fill this void in. We have a fair value gap in. We have an H4 level of support and resistance, right? And this candle right here that closes at 10 p.m., opened at 6, as you guys see there, creates this fair value gap, right? And now my job is to go to the lower time frame, and I want price to tap into this level, and I want price to reach higher. Okay, that's what I'm basically waiting for, right? So in this case, right, on Wednesday, March 6th, I actually didn't take a trade until after 10, right? I know it's 9:30, but I didn't take a trade after 10 because Powell spoke, right? And we had high impact news right there. So what I wanted to do is wait patiently for that 10 a.m. news to settle, and see what happens. And what happens? Price drops into our fair value gap, right? But it's very important to note the other thing that it did. It took out London lows, right? So we have 3 forms of confluences within this level, right? We took out London low. We're in this fair value gap, rebalancing this efficiency, right? And if you guys watched my last video, I'll show you guys my last video right now, Forex to Futures, episode 1. Price is always wanting to do 2 things, right? Price is always going to want to rebalance inefficiencies and look for liquidity. Right now it's balancing inefficiency, right? Seeking that liquidity, right, from the London lows. And now I'm just waiting for price to push higher, right? What I wanted to target this high right here, because this, give me a second, is a high level of liquidity. And on top of that, we had a fair value gap right here. Okay, so since we had a fair value gap, I marked off this high because that's where I wanted price to go, because price could retrace there, right? And what we did right here is basically wait for price to get and break back above the fair value gap and reach for prices all the way up here. And as soon as price started breaking above right here, right, price never looked back and actually ended up pushing above and taking all profits. It was a beautiful, beautiful trade. Very, very simple. But where did my mistake come from, right? It was, first of all, getting in way too low. When you look at the 1 minute outer area of interest, you can visibly see the market structure shift right here, right? You can see where price is switching directions, right? Double bottoms here, right? Price makes a new high, creates a higher low, and creates another new high right here, right? We had big stops, we had a late entry, right? Ideally, our entry would have came down here at this 1 minute fair value gap right here, right? And yes, these are some things that I'm changing to make my entries more defined, and it has been working beautifully, right? And this is how our entry came to be. Instead, our entry came to be something like this, right? Where to get my 2 to 1, I wanted to extend price, right? But in that meanwhile, right, I kept, this is my entry, right? Let's just say this is my entry, right? This is my entry right here. Price had reached these highs. This was my entry, not even a 2 to 1, right? This was my entry right here. And what had happened was, as price started to push up here, right, we trailed our stops to just around right here, right? And what happens? I remember, ideally, I wanted a nice entry 2 to 1 to clear this high. I saw price continue to push above. So instead of securing, I was like, okay, you know what? We have a good chance of just continuing this huge run, right? So I moved my stops at break even, and price in 10 minutes. This is the 1 minute. Let's get out of here. Drops. Completely drops. That happened at about 1 p.m. I want to say. That happened at around 1 p.m. right, where price drops, takes out in profit. Remember, our profit was up here basically, and that's what happened, right? It was a beautiful trade, a beautiful management, perfect execution of how I'm using levels, my strategy, and how I'm looking at market direction. But it was just terrible management. It was a late entry. It was holding when I shouldn't have. I should have secured right here, and that was it, right? And we learned from it. And that, again, I'm being as transparent. I'm being as transparent as you can be, right? I'm literally showing you guys that the first day we lost literally right here, one trade, boom, was 300. The next trade was 50, and we were floating in profit. I wish I can show you guys a story I might have uploaded on my Instagram, which I did. I just don't have it saved. And yeah, beautiful trade, guys, beautiful trade. And that's how the first week, because tomorrow's NFP Friday, I do not know if I'm going to trade. If I do, I will let you guys know. And that's how my first week on Top Step came, right? 1-1, stopped out on shorts, and then we mismanaged longs. But listen, we've been here before. We're only down 0.5%, which is nothing, right? So, risk to reward, baby, risk to reward. And I'm doing it live in front of you guys. Let's see how Top Step goes. I'm gonna dig myself out of this, obviously, and we're gonna come back tomorrow, NFP Friday, and if we don't have anything, we're gonna come back on Monday, and I'm gonna drop another video this weekend. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. Deuces.